This skip consists of two main parts, the out of bounds and the out of bounds drift. In this video, I'll explain my setups for both parts. Before I continue, I must mention that these setups will only work with a 6-turn character. It is also worth mentioning that I play this game with the D-pad only. Even if you play with the analog stick, I would still recommend using the D-pad for the out of bounds drift. When leaving the magnetic section, align yourself parallel with the ramp in the middle of the left side. When you're about to land, turn right and start a drift when you land. When drifting, counter-steer by holding left and do 1 mini turbo, then release your drift. Ideally, you want to be facing towards this corner of the ramp, like this, when you release your drift. Keep driving forward until you get close to the ramp, then do a jump and hold right, then switch to holding left right before you land to start drifting to the left. You're aiming to land on the bottom right corner when you start your drift, parallel with the ramp. When drifting, hold left until you reach the top of the ramp. Notice how the cart is now perpendicular with the edge of the ramp. This is what you want, as it allows you to get a huge jump. This is the deciding point on whether or not you fail the out of bounds. If you do not get a big jump, you will have no chance of landing out of bounds. When you reach the top of the ramp, jump and instantly start air braking to turn quicker. Keep turning until you're facing this pillar, then go straight. If all goes correctly, you will land inside this rock out of bounds. Practicing the setup will increase your chances of getting out of bounds, but getting a big enough jump is still very inconsistent. When you land in the rock, drive forwards and start turning right until you are facing this pole. Be careful that you do not drive too far, or that you don't drive for long enough, as this will make the next part of the skip more likely to fail. Do multiple air brakes while jumping left into the wall to turn around 180 degrees. When you start driving forward, you should be facing roughly towards the center of the rock. Immediately hold left and jump to start another drift. Be very careful that you do not go too far to the right, as you will collide with some geometry and lose your drift. When you start drifting, you need to align your cart with the road above you as you fall. This is difficult to do as this large black plane obstructs your view while falling. When you start to drift, keep holding left and do 1 mini turbo, then start holding right. If done correctly, your cart will be underneath the right side of the road. If you are too far to the right, you can attempt to readjust your cart by holding left briefly and then holding right again. If you are too far to the left, there is little that can be done to save the attempt. After aligning with the road, keep holding right and do 2 more mini turbos. Pay attention to the small brown object in this grassy area. You are aiming to stop holding right just before this object goes out of view. Right when the object is at the top of your screen, stop holding right and continue drifting without any direction. From this point forward, you do not need to make a simple input. You just have to wait and see if you are successful. For the skip to work, you need to get a lap count on the exact same frame as you die and get reset by the mask. If your minimap position quickly jumps forward in front of the finish line, you failed the skip. If your minimap position does not advance to the finish line at all, you failed the skip. If your minimap position lands on the finish line exactly, you succeeded. When you respawn, the game will give you an extra lap. If you failed the skip, but your minimap position updated very soon before you died, your setup was good, but you got unlucky. Remember that the skip involves a frame perfect, it is therefore very inconsistent. If your minimap updated early, you could likely release your drift too late, or you were too far to the left. If your minimap position never updated, you'd likely release your drift too early, or you were too far to the right.